my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Happy Monday. This is the week of the Bad Batch Season 2 mid-season double episode, The Clone Conspiracy and Truth and Consequences. After last week's episode, we assume we're still going to be on Kashyyyk, but with the title The Clone Conspiracy, is this the week Captain Rex contacts the Bad Batch? Let's wait and see. Now we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch more in a bit, but first of all, a couple of updates for the Mandalorian Season 3. Pedro Pascal recently featured on Jimmy Fallon, and he opened up about what we can expect in Season 3. When he was asked to provide new details, he simply said there's going to be more than one Mandalorian battle, featuring numerous Mandos. Here's the quote: "I will say there will be more Mandalorians, a lot of them, big epic battles, plural, maybe." Now we do get teasers of this in the teaser trailer and the final trailer as well, and I wonder if some of the early rumours for the Book of Boba Fett that turned out to be wrong about numerous Mandos and clans may have actually been for Season 3. Then in the interview he talks about Grogu. He lightheartedly says he's been very good, he's still learning, teaching, protected, and protecting. "I think if I say any more I'll be replaced, not just as the Mandalorian, but as a human being in real life. Their technology is so sophisticated, they'll just replace me with a different Pedro Pascal." Now it's worth bearing in mind that Pedro Pascal was not heavily involved in filming the third season. His schedule coincided with his time shooting The Last of Us, which meant the heavy lifting once again was done by his two stunt doubles, Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder. He might have been brought in for reshoots last summer to film any scenes where he's not got his helmet on, something we already saw in the first two seasons. And given the redemption story in the minds of Mandalore, and my theory that he's not going to go through with it, I think we're going to see his face a lot more. Maybe not in the first half of the season, but certainly in the second. That's just my theory though. So much of the cast of the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian Seasons 1 and 2 are also returning for Season 3, as are executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. The former wrote all 8 episodes, with the latter co-writing 2 of them. Neither of them are directing though. Instead, as covered last week, we have Bryce Dallas Howard, Rick Famuyiwa, Carl Weathers, Rachel Morrison, Lee Isaac Chung, and Peter Ramsey. More Mandalorian battles means some excellent action sequences are coming our way. There's gonna be one on a desert planet, maybe Tatooine when Din visits Boba, and then we have Paz Vizsla and others taking out pirates on Nevarro. We miss the heavier battle sequences. Season 1 had some very intense Mando fights, and whenever we see it, it always feels like Clone Wars or Rebels come to life. But Season 3 is upping the ante because we have more clans and Mandos than ever before, both familiar and new. So share your thoughts on Pedro Pascal's comments down below. And so just before we move on from Mando, in my latest poll I asked you guys, who would you choose to rule Mandalore? Now the circumstances are whatever you want them to be, so there's no wrong answer, but I gave you 5 options: Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, Sabine Wren, the Armourer, or Paz Vizsla. Paz Vizsla only got 2%, sad times, but most people voted for Din Djarin, and then Sabine Wren, who of course did have the Darksaber, won it from Gar Saxon, but decided that Bo-Katan was a better ruler, so Bo-Katan took it and she lost it to Moff Gideon. I would have said Bo-Katan. I think that makes more sense for a story arc. I know Din Djarin has the Darksaber and he's the favourite, but I don't know if he wants to rule Mandalore, or if he's ever going to want to. I suppose we're going to get answers on March the 1st, when Season 3 finally drops. And so now, my dear friends, on to the Bad Batch Season 2. In just 2 days' time, the mid-season double. The focus of discussion over the last week has been Gungi, the adorable Wookiee Jedi Padawan who first appeared in the Clone Wars, but is back. He survived Order 66, and as I said in my breakdown, in the months following the Jedi Purge, could he have received extra training from another survivor? And I'm kind of scared for Gungi, because the creators keep talking about dark themes, and I'm kind of thinking something bad might happen to him. I really hope they don't go there, but by the time of Jedi Fallen Order, the Empire's already wreaked havoc on Kashyyyk. I'm really hoping Gungi was not caught up in that, but today guys, let's talk about something different. The Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 6 Tribe did a lot to critique the Jedi Order, but it did it subtly, at least according to one fan, whose theory has garnered quite a bit of attention. Let's dive into it. Just like many other Bad Batch episodes, Season 2 Episode 6 dealt with the theme of war, the impact of war on kids. At the end of the episode, Hunter tells the Wookiee elder Yana that Omega and Gungi are just kids, but they never get to be. They're always fighting a battle or involved in the chaos of the galaxy, especially during this time, the Empire's early reign. This highlighted a tragedy that is often overlooked in Star Wars, but in other ways, earlier parts of the episode tackle the theme as well. And according to one fan theory, it was all through the lens of Gungi's storyline, which doesn't just criticize the Empire, but the late Jedi Order that fell as well. Because Gungi's story is kind of tragic. He was taken as a baby from Kashyyyk, so he only remembers it in his dreams. He was raised as a Jedi on Coruscant, taken away from his culture and native tribe, so he never really got to be a Wookiee, but rather a Jedi soldier, a Jedi Padawan. And in a big way, this episode discreetly calls out the Jedi Order for this, because for a Wookiee, returning to your homeworld of Kashyyyk, seeing the forests, feeling the heritage and the culture should not be alien, but to Gungi it was, and in a big way, he might be facing a lot of trauma and an identity crisis. Let's break it down for a moment. This is a Wookiee who is still very young. He was taken from his home as an infant, raised in the ways of the Jedi by masters who are his only parental figures. Then tragedy strikes when Order 66 comes. He is left without a home, a survivor. All his Padawan friends are dead, as are his masters. Coruscant is a no-go for him, and so he's left without a home to go to. He was already very different to his fellow students being a Wookiee. I mean, sure, there are lots of species, but he was not able to speak Basic, despite understanding it. And then one day he's kidnapped by droids, smuggling droids, and then clones come along to save him, and he's already got distrust for them because clones are the ones who killed all his friends. They take him back to his homeworld, which he's not very attached to because he's not been there since he was a baby. He was searching for it for a while, but now he's going back there, and when they arrive, he finds out his village has been raided, and now he's existing in a weird limbo. There are other Wookiees there to look after him, but he's forced to choose to fight with the Batch, and maybe the rebellion. That's his only chance for survival. At such a young age, it's a lot to process, and the Jedi to a large extent are to blame because he had no connection to his homeworld or his parents or family. I'm really hoping Gungi's gonna be alright. He's starting to rediscover his own culture, learning the customs of his people. Yana introduces Gungi to the concept of communing with the sacred trees, which they believe truly run the planet. It's not a world away from the Force, and might be another manifestation of it. And another huge thing that needs to be said is the way Yana greets Gungi is very symbolic. Without using any words, she said, "I see you and accept you, you're home." It's a new start for him, and that's why I'm really hoping nothing bad happens. At first, Gungi didn't understand the gesture. How could he? His right to know his own culture and customs was taken from him before he could even understand what they meant. But just a second later, he gets it and reciprocates the gesture. Yana's closing remark in the episode, when a young one leaves, the trees weep, but when they return, the trees sing. As this child has found his new home, maybe one day he will also find a new path. So while we were all excited to see Gungi again, there is a deeper interpretation to his story, a deeper message about culture and war. Just as fighting wars takes kids away, so did the Jedi. They snatched them away from their childhoods, ridding them and depriving them of the innocence that makes them kids. This was a big theme with Omega in Season 1, even though she's not Force sensitive or a Jedi. But what do you guys think? Did you get these themes when you saw episode 6? Did you enjoy the episode? And are you looking forward to episode 7 and 8 on Wednesday? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And what are your predictions? We're going to talk about it more in tomorrow's video, but if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, while also getting access to our Discord server and your name at the end of my videos, then click the link down there in the description. And if you want more Mando news, then check out yesterday's video. We had a big character update, but until the next one guys, may the Force be with you always.